Back to our draft rankings. Coming in at number 47 is Marek Vanacker from the Brantford Bulldogs. Pillsy, I know Sens fans' ears are already perking up.
Yeah, and Ross, if any team is going to know this guy from a scouting perspective, it's the Ottawa Senators.
Steve Staios has drafted him before, and my goodness, he could do it again.
I wonder how many times that's happened, Ross, where a GM has drafted a guy in junior and then went on to draft him to the NHL. Be interesting if let us know in the comments if you're aware of any time that's happened, because that'd be interesting. But of course, Michael Andlauer owns the Brentford Bulldogs, so he's been watching them closely. And a guy I'm sure him and Steve Staios have noticed is Vanacker, as he led the Bulldog in points. So that's a guy you're going to notice. In 68 games, he had 36 goals, 46 assists, good for 82 points on the season. And he also had 7 points in 6 playoff games. So this is a guy that has had the spotlight shining on him in a Bulldogs uniform.
And Nick Lardis, who went in the draft last year to Chicago, got hurt in January, and that gave Vanacker an opportunity to play up the lineup, and boy, did he take advantage. He led the team in goals as well as points, and he was just a force every single night. He tested well at the prospects game. That helped his draft stock, and Corey Pronman in particular just said, hey, the more I watched him, the more I liked him. He just wonders, though, Pronman does, what role he's going to fit in at the NHL level. I'd be less worried about that and more worried about how well he's doing winning 50-50 pucks. The way that he's just fearless, going anywhere in the offensive zone. He's a guy that I bet you his line mates, they're begging the coach at the start of the year, put me with Vanacker, put me with Marek, because he's not only going to get them in positions to succeed, but he's also going to go out and do some of the dirty work for him in terms of hounding loose pucks and winning board battles. So I think that he's going to be a popular teammate wherever he ends up in his pro career, and he's going to just continue, hopefully, to ascend the way that his point totals would indicate. And not only did Steve Staios draft him as an OHL, but this is a first-round pick. And you know how Steve Staios has this thing. He goes, we need to decide what a senator is. He's been saying that time and time again. Well, does this sound familiar? After signing or getting a commitment from Vanacker to go to Brantford, Marek brings exactly what we believe a Bulldog should be: community, on ice ability, excellent character. We believe Marek is a young man who will grow into a leader as a Hamilton Bulldog. So that's pretty high praise from Steve Staios already. And I think that this is one to watch, whether it's at 25, 39. That would be the range, I think, for Vanacker, though Bob McKenzie had him down at 47 on his list, 47 on Craig Button's most recent list. Well, McKean's was even lower, but again, their list is a bit older, and his season did progress rather strongly. The guys who are highest on him: Scott Wheeler at 30, EP at 34, and Corey Pronman at 35. Now, Vanacker's 6 feet tall, 174 pounds, an April birthday with an average rank of 41 on our list. He's 47, like, ironic that he's 47, which is where Bob and Craig have him. We got him there too. And I think that this would be great value if he is still available at 47, that area.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the Sens' second round pick at 39, like you mentioned, I think that's about the range. I think in the first round, especially with the Sens' first rounder at 25, that's a little bit much for me. But you can certainly see why teams would be interested in him and why scouts have him high. Crafty winger with creativity. He can set his teammates up, 46 assists. But he's not just a playmaker. He had 36 goals, too. So this is a dual threat guy. One of the knocks I saw on him is he could improve his skating a little bit more. Not to say he's a bad skater, but that's one area I found a lot of scouts kind of commented on, is his skating's not top notch. The one thing that's interesting, Ross, is he only had 1 goal in 6 U18 games. And I feel like that's a chance for prospects to really shine. And he didn't really get a lot of playing time on Team Canada. Like, you look at the time on ice, 4 minutes. He had 11 and a half minutes. That was his tournament high. but that was in a 6-0 win against Czech Republic. So I think they were Czechia rather. They were benching all their top guys and letting some of the bottom 6 guys, and then all his other time on ice are under 10 minutes. So at the international stage, he didn't really pop off probably the way he was hoping. So that'll be interesting to see if that affects his ranking and where he goes in the draft. I think he's a good player, Ross, but I think there's other players in that range that the Sens should target with the 39th pick.
We have seen Vanacker's name in mock drafts to the Ottawa Senators. The Athletic one with Wheeler and Pronman together had Vanacker coming to Ottawa with that 39th pick. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. And I would be on board if they got him at 39. 25, I couldn't talk myself into. I just couldn't, because there's not the highest ceiling there. There's a character player who Steve Staios described, right? Good guy, like leadership, all that. And a guy who's going to be a complimentary player and go hound pucks and do all the right things that coaches are going to rely on. But at 25, we need a higher upside swing. But this would be good organizational depth. There's no question about that for whatever team drafts Vanacker. For me, I'm looking at that range with the Julius Miettnens of the world, the Max Plants of the world, the Adam Yekos of the world. I'm just not ready to put him up there with Teddy Stiga, the crown jewel so far. And again, we're counting up to number 1. So we haven't covered the players above, but I've got Teddy Stiga step over Vanacker just because I think that they both have that, ability to do the little things, but Stiga's got the production just at another level. And I think it's a bit more translatable. So that's where I've got Vanacker. Anything 40 or later, I think would be a good spot for him.
Yeah, I'm a little lower on Vanacker than you, Ross. I've got him. I still have him in my top tier of forwards that we've done so far here. So a good player. I like him. I gave him 3 out of 5 stars here. I'm with you 100%. Not at 25, but if they went for him at 39, I could talk myself into it. And like we mentioned, nobody knows this kid better than Steve Staios. So if he went for him at 39, I feel like that would be one of those picks where Staios says, this is great value. And he convinces the scouting staff to lean a little more in that direction. Now, I'm not sure how Steve Staios and Don Boyd's relationship is. This will be their first draft. So we'll see how that dynamic plays out. But if there's one thing we know about the Sens is they love their nepotism and things like that. So it would not be a surprising pick for the Sens to take a guy from the junior team their owner owns.
But we're not asking steady Stevie Staios' Sens stars. We're asking Pilsy, what is it for Marek Vanacker?
I give him 3 out of 5 stars, Ross.
Okay, 3 out of 5 stars for Marek Vanacker, who comes in at number 47 on our 2024 NHL draft rankings. For more, go check us out. Individual prospect profiles on YouTube.